Well, hello there. Thanks for playing World of Tanks, and thanks for checking out this World of Tanks video. I'm here in the Tier 8 Chinese light tank. It's the WZ-132, and it is actually in its stock form. I have not researched any packages for it. So we're in the map Icebound with a light tank, kind of a city map, and sometimes that can be a difficult thing. And this one's just going to be kind of a fun video about how I had a pretty decent match in town with a light tank. And so to start off with here, I do kind of proceed generally toward the middle of the map. I don't get really far out there, I don't get really far away from my teammates, at least not at the beginning. And maybe I never do. Sticking with my ally heavies here, they're kind of following me, and so I'm just kind of generally sticking with them, kind of supporting them, kind of providing them with some scouting. Go up here on this hill, check out a few of the enemy vehicle positions, and come back down the hill because I don't want those shots to hit me. And so at this point I do kind of move back in toward my ally positions rather than going out into the enemy positions or staying out there exposed to enemy fire. Come back in towards my team, go back in toward the other end of the flank, and we spot that ISU-152 right there at about E4 right now. And if I can navigate the terrain here, I do kind of turn around and go the opposite direction as opposed to squaring off with that enemy destroyer. And we can see that enemy destroyer was, visible again here, moving forward toward that position where I was at and toward my ally tortoise there. And so I see there's some space behind him there that's not, doesn't seem to be protected by any of my enemies or any of that destroyer's allies. And so I think I want to head that direction, get behind that enemy TD. Switch over to the zoomed in circular minimap, give me a better sense of the street's layout, and also give me a tighter picture of my position in relation to the enemies. I do take my time, aim upwards toward that flat surface on the backside of this tank. Sometimes these Russian tanks, it just so happens that the auto lock or the auto aim kind of directs your gun towards some really well angled portions of these Russian vehicles. So rather than allow my gun to shoot at that really well angled backside, take my time, manually aim, and aim at the flat side. So I circle back around and head out toward this flank again. We have some isolated enemies, it seems to me, and so I'm going to slowly approach those positions, make sure that I don't surprise myself by coming upon an enemy vehicle hidden by a corner of a building or something. Kind of take my time, make sure that I'm safe. I zoom in with the circular minimap here and kind of use my camera to peek around the corner to make sure that this T-30 has either its side or its rear aimed at me as opposed to the front of the tank and as opposed to the gun. And I notice that T-30 seemed to have responded by coming my direction, and so I just kind of get out of there, get around some cover, get around some corners, and my allies in that area in particular, I think that TD and light tank now have shots on the back side of that T-30, and indeed they are able to eliminate it. I quickly head back in toward the middle of the map. I have a chance, it looks like, to get at the back sides of some enemy heavies who are engaged with my ally heavies. And as we all know, it is much easier to shoot at the backside of enemy heavies, much easier than it is to shoot the front sides of the enemy heavies. And so that's some good looking shots right there. Set that Tiger II on fire and ultimately get the elimination. So they have one heavy, one light, 2 artillery, and it looks like this T-10 back in there. I think it's the T-10. Anyway, that enemy heavy is kind of protected by some destroyed tanks back in there. So I switch back to the zoomed in circular minimap and head back around behind that enemy heavy to hopefully get some shots at the back side of it. And shooting at the back sides of the enemy heavies is definitely the way I like to do it. Can certainly accumulate some easy damage that way, and some relatively easy XP and silver as well. And so we're down to the last remaining enemy vehicle, but this match is not quite over. Do a little manual aim there, get a nice shot, a little bit of range. And the enemy vehicle starts moving to just avoid my ram. Get another shot there. Ally gets a ram. Get the reload and finish off the final enemy tank. Well, that was a fun match to play. Maybe it was a halfway fun match to watch. Maybe it was a really fun match to watch. If you think that this was something worth checking out, please consider a like, a share, or a subscribe to help get this video out in front of the eyes of others. At the very least, maybe kind of entertaining, maybe some helpful thoughts about taking a light tank into town. Sometimes that's not the easiest thing to do. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love to hear from you. What do you think about light tanks generally? What do you think about taking light tanks into town? What do you think about this Icebound map? I guess some people don't really like it too much. I actually kind of enjoy it. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video, and thanks for playing World of Tanks.